In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the best settings and sensitivity for you in COD Mobile's Scene 7. Make sure to watch the whole video because there's a lot of tips and tricks that you do not want to miss. Also smash a like, it really helps the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get right into it. So starting right into it, we're going to start off with the basic section. Now of course the HUD, I'm going to make a separate video on that because I feel like it's going to drag the video on and there's a lot to go through when it comes to HUD layout, so I'm going to save that for a separate video. But let's get right into the basic section. We have aim assist on, of course, you need that on. Quick run from prone, I think you should have that on. Fixed arc fire BTN, I don't know what actually that is. I just have that on because that's the default setting. It sets it on. Continuous grenade throw, I do have that on as well. Quick weapon switch, you should obviously have that on. Fast throw grenade, now that's when as soon as you press your grenade button it throws straight away, which I don't really like. I want to throw the grenade when I press the fire button. I feel like I'm more in control when I do that. And then the joystick, fixed joystick. A lot of people have a fixed joystick, but when I use a fixed joystick I feel like my movement is slower, sluggy, so I much rather have like a floating joystick. And now we've got ADS, so tap and hold to ADS is fairly used in the community. But for me, I feel like tapping is just way easier. But if you're used to holding the ADS button, then definitely go for that. But for new players, I encourage you to do tap to ADS. Display left fire button, I do have that on. And then always sprint, I do have that on. Don't have this, just go always sprint, so you don't have to stretch your thumb or anything. Gyroscope, I do not use. FOV, you need to have it on 90. I think the default is 70, I'm not exactly sure. But 90 is where you want to be at. It helps you a lot in game, seeing other players from the corner of your eye. And then the rest is just, you know, I don't really like my buttons being too big, the capture button and all these icons. I don't like them too big, so I just have them at 50. And then minimap, I just have it on default, whatever this is. Doesn't really matter to me that much. But let's get into audio and graphics. So I have an iPad Pro 2020, so I can have 120 FPS. And if your device can handle 120 FPS, you need to use it. Now if your device can't have 120 FPS, I would say have very high or max frame rate and then high graphics quality, depending on how good your device is. But since my device is pretty good, I have 120 FPS and medium graphics, which actually is not that bad. It looks decent. And then I have realistic for the BR mode graphic style. Real-time shadows, anti-aliasing, all that. Same for multiplayer and zombies. And then the effects. Now this is a pretty new feature and I really like this feature. For the effect style, it's all really preference. I like battlefield smoke and electric flash. Of course I have it on blue because my channel color is blue and a bit orange. And it's also my favorite color, blue. So I have that on everything, I think. And now we have sensitivity, the important section I think of this video, so make sure you watch all the way through. And can I just say, do not copy any of my sensitivity, it's all you to actually find your perfect sensitivity. All I can say is tips and tricks on how to find the best sensitivity for you. So first off, speed acceleration, I think that's the best out of these three. Have a high speed acceleration if you want to have a flicky playstyle. I have it at 120, which is pretty high. If you play on a phone, I would recommend 80 to 90. If you're on an iPad, I would say 90 to uppering 120, I would say. Depending if you like to do flicks, which in my case I do, so I have it pretty high. Sensitivity switch while opening ADS, I guess that's the best I think out of those three. And then we got camera sensitivity. I have it actually pretty high, I'm a pretty high sense player because I like my movement to be snappy, fast. So I have that 110 standard sensitivity. ADS sensitivity, you want to have it quite similar to standard, but definitely not as high, so maybe like mid-90s, 90, depending on what device and obviously your playstyle. And then the rest, I don't really use scopes in multiplayer, so that doesn't really matter to me. Firing sensitivity, you want it to be a bit higher than your camera, because obviously you're shooting, you want it to be a bit higher so you can control the recoil a bit better. So I have it just a tiny bit higher. Now we go over to BR mode, I have it a bit less speed acceleration because I don't flick as much in BR. It's more tactical, not flicky and all that stuff that you find in multiplayer. But yeah, pretty much the same. I don't play BR too much, so I haven't really gone over the settings and revamped them, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the sensitivity. But one tip I highly suggest you use, go into the training mode ground and just aim at the targets, aim at all the things to try and find your perfect sensitivity. That's what I did when I first started playing the game, and it helped me a lot to try and find my perfect sensitivity. But now we've got BR settings. This is really preference. I don't like having too many grenades, but yeah, that's really just preference. Moving on, we got vehicle. I would say layout A is the most simple and best for me. It's not really a big deal. And then controller, I am going to make a video on how to actually connect controller for Xbox or PS4 controller, so stay tuned for that. And I think I've covered everything of my sensitivity. I'm actually just going to show my HUD real quick, not really going into any detail. I play 7-finger core, so it's quite a lot. But I will make a separate video for that, as I said earlier in the video, so stay tuned to that. But I think I've covered everything. Hopefully this helped you trying to find your best sensitivity and your settings. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more COD Mobile content, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.